All right, welcome back to another board drill quick hit. This time we'll try not to get demonetized on YouTube, Matt. What do you think?
I don't think it's going to happen. We'll see.
Now, it happens about every other video. Somehow we get demonetized, but you know what? We don't care. Exos, suck it.
They can have their 32 cents. Who cares?
Seriously. Thanks a lot, Catapult. Anyways, enough dumping on that. Matt, you know the drill. It's a board drill breakdown. So I'm going to have a playlist that you've probably never seen or you're really not sure what we're going to. So here we go. We're going to do the R flip by Iowa State. I'm calling it R flip. Other people call it other things. But frankly, it's just the running back flipping. I call the running back R, therefore it's R flip.
See, Coach, I used to call it you're lined up wrong, get lined up correctly, and then he would get in the right place.
You're on the wrong side. I know that one well too. So like usual, we'll go the wide shot and then the end zone shot will have the illustrations on it. So just real quick, you can kind of see again, the R flip is going to be that running back flipping. There he goes. And here they run, God's play, Matt.
That's the power play we talked about earlier in the year, right?
We did, yeah.
Running it from the backside.
Yeah. And it is power. We won't get in this argument. If the H-back kicks, it's power and the guard pulls the second level. Correct. Okay.
I agree with you for once, Kyle.
Yes. Argue with the wall. So there it is. And Matt, talk about what you think this little motion does for an offense.
Well, crap, it's not just the motion, but the post snap with the running back switching back to the other side,
that's
right?
What I meant. That's the R flip to me. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, okay.
It's not
I thought
pre-snap.
You were talking about the motion pre-snap.
No, I don't care about that motion. No, I'm talking about talk about that little flip by the running back, what you think about it and all this stuff. I know I'm putting you on the spot here.
Well, I mean, right now, if you go back to pre-snap and freeze it, right now, if you're a defense, you're thinking power to the strength, counter away. Those are the two most likely options, or you could get some sort of insert zone. But you're not thinking he's going to flip it and then run power to the left side. So, as a linebacker, you assume that they're going to have their keys they're looking for. And really, you're just it's another way to mess with those keys and to throw the defense off.
Yeah. And, I'm thinking, I coach this a lot. When we key the first of all, the super minor thing, who's the cue player, who's the dive player? This screws it up. Because, we talk about it all the time where if you're to the running back, typically you're going to be the cue player on the cross mesh. I know there's some same side stuff, but even if they same side mesh it, we talk about who's going to be the cue and that. Well, now a kid comes to the sideline and goes, Coach, it wasn't same side, it wasn't cross mesh. The guy jumped to the other side and they meshed it. What do I do? And then we're kind of like, ooh, we got to make an adjustment for that. And later on, you'll see it with the RPO game too, right? If you're a secondary player who's normally the RPO guy, what do you do, right? Normally the RPO back is to me. I'm looking for RPO. Back is away from me. Okay, now he's to me. What do I do? So I think it's a really interesting piece. Iowa State did it a good amount. I've seen a few other teams do it here or there. I don't know what to think about it yet. Here it is again now with counter, which is what we see with it most often. So we'll kind of go again to the end zone shot.
I love how it evolves from what is a gun formation to it almost really involves to the pistol, right? You get pretty much out of it, like running power or running counter out of the pistol. This is the way we would have ran it. We would have had the running back obviously go backside and then bounce to the front side.
Correct. And that's what you get here.
Yeah, you get that exact look, but you can align the running back anywhere.
Yeah, and I think, offensively, you can tell me more than that, but maybe this is something that you can throw in there as a tendency breaker for defenses. All right, hey, we have a whole lot of tendency to do this. We're just going to flip them real quick and do it. And, hey, we only have to do it 3 or 4 times to keep the defense honest, right? But I think it's a nice touch. It's certainly very creative. Iowa State maybe had the most diverse run game in college football. I know they're not sexy to watch, and no one's like, people want to watch other teams on offense, but Iowa State probably ran every single run. We broke them down, and I think we did a cut up of like 13 different runs they did. It was unbelievable. So here's a zone insert. Nope, never mind. This is Matt. Super counter. Here we go.
Yeah.
So we get super counter against Iowa here. So again, there's the illustration as best I could do with this. A whole lot of action going on there, but This is just controlled chaos. Everybody's going every direction right here, right? It's like the whole offense is basically crossing here, including the running.
Yeah, and the more I watch it, the more I feel like it's basically the pistol. Basically, what you're going to do out of the pistol, you do here. Obviously, power was a little bit different, but instead of, out of the gun, if we ever ran counter like this with the running back to the counter side, we'd teach them to plant that third step, take the hand off, and then cut back against the grain, right? So here you're just having him go around the quarterback. So he's shuffling around the quarterback, and it puts him in that same, pretty much a similar spot where he can be explosive from the point where he gets to. So watch the quarterback's footwork. He clears that midline. Slow it back down and go back again, coach. But watch that quarterback's footwork. Watch how he clears that midline, just how you would in the pistol, and allows that running back to get a nice, solid, clean handoff and get around him without them bumping into each other. And really, the running back doesn't have to go far, right? The quarterback was on the hash there. So it kind of gives you some reference to the footwork and how you get there.
And now, do you think that this also, I'm just kind of grabbing at things here. Do you think this helps to run it? So typically when you run the counter out of gun, right, he turns in and then, right, he turns back out. You've seen how people run counter out of gun, same side. Do we think that this helps the running back's vision because he basically gets to keep open vision the entire time, right? He's not turning his body in and then coming back out. I know I'm really going for tiny details here, but this may, especially for a high school kid, help the vision a little more for a running back and see the kick a little better.
That's not a tiny detail at all, coach, and it probably helps the timing as well to where he's not having to cut off that inside foot and work back out, and probably helps his angle, keeps him up closer to the line of scrimmage and doesn't get too wide too quick and try to just bounce it.
Yeah, and
So I think
that's
there's a
one
lot
thing
in play here.
Yeah, I think that's one thing I noted in the article was, maybe it's a better timing thing, an angle thing for the running back, much like the pistol does too. I think you're right there. And then I don't think I have any of the RPOs on here. I wish I would have put them on here, but the RPOs become really tough because now you're messing with the defense. Now a read guy's, not a read guy and everything else going on. So here is the next one.
I also think if you're a wing T coach and you run some sort of gun wing T system like we know some coaches who do, or planning on running it and have asked questions about it, this is a phenomenal way to work your running back out of the gun, to work him behind the quarterback and create that extra little dimension of misdirection.
The old R flip in the gun T. Now we're just making things up. I love it. Here's another counter. This is an interesting one because it's kind of like, it looks like that. What do they call it? The crab counter or whatever it is. Because the tackle kind of works out here. Well, I guess he's that Iowa tight end or Iowa State tight end, but he's a tackle.
He's a tight end tackle. Either way,
correct. He's wearing 72, so he's something. He's not a tight end for dang sure.
No, he's a 6-man, right?
Yep. So here we go. Just again, GH counter. Here's the kick. This is really interesting how they sort this. The H is actually going to insert on the backer here, and the guard is going to work all the way out. I think there's just really good vision by the H. Watch him have his eyes on and realize, hey, the backer's shooting the gap. He's mine.
And I'm sure it's built into their rules if you go back pre-snap. The H probably has the first linebacker play side, right? And the double team, yep, there you go. Double team works to the backside linebacker, and he's gone.
Yeah, but that's great vision by the H and just
you can run it
back.
Can we go back? Can we go back?
Yeah.
There we go. So just talking it through, your center or your guard tackle double team should go to that backside linebacker. Now you're getting a double team out here on this edge defender that you really are double teaming to the safety at that point because your kick's going to be outside and now you're wrapping to 3. That works fine. I mean, I guess it depends on your rules, how you teach it up, but seems perfect to me.
It works for them here. Nice little run. All right. I think it's another counter for us, another GH look. So we'll kind of see it there. Let's get to the shot. But again, I just think the set and then the flip into the counter, I think is such a great timing thing for them. Because it really hits well here. I mean, just the timing. I know this one doesn't break, but the timing of everything looks really, really good where it can get dicey when you do kind of the same side counter stuff.
Yeah, and you got to think the old school counters used to, fake it to the fullback, and you got the wing coming back from the other side, and his angle is going to be more in tune with those pullers, out of the gun. He's kind of got to get more vertical before he gets there. So this kind of gives some more downhill approach to it.
Now here's like the OZ insert, which I really like here. And again, we'll see it from the back shot. 51's actually going to end up overtaking that head up tackle right there, which is really nice. They're going to kick on the backside to the end. Let's see if I can get the drawing up here. So that's what it's going to look like on paper. I know it's a little wacky with all the drawings, but you're going to see that 51 really makes the play here. He overtakes that guy, turns back on him. 82 gets up vertical. It's a really, really nice play. And again, now that R flip allows this guy to really have vision of what's going on with that backside guard. And as he sees, hey, the backside guard ended up overtaking him because the guy's slanting out. So the backside guard turns out, and now he can hit this flat downhill.
Yeah. And I want to know how many times coaches have lined up to something going, oh, well, they know we're running outside zone to the strength. They know, but if your running back's on that same side, well, now they're expecting something different. They're not sure what's coming at them. So you're adding that.
Correct.
Just that level of, not letting them be comfortable as a defense.
Yeah, and I think that's the whole point of this. I don't think, again, I'm not saying this is a big thing that your offense needs, but I think for those guys that are heavy run teams, that are heavy tendency teams, this is a way to flip the tendency a little bit. So here's power one more time.
And like I was saying with a pistol, if you have pistol installed in your offense, this is an easy way to get there, right? That you're showing, I'm not in a pistol. We're going to set our back to one side, let the defense declare, especially if you get something a look you want to out of the defense. For example, if you're looking to get an over front here, 2-3 technique at the running back, being able to run this would be huge for you to be able to get the advantage you want.
I think that's a good point. If they set certain things certain way. Now, they don't block this one very good, but let's watch one more R flip with power. Now, they never get to the backside linebacker, Matt, which I know is tough deal for you. But again, you can kind of see it. Whatever he is, linebacker, third safety, whatever he is. But you can kind of see again.
Pretty heavy.
Yep. Just that angle and everything. So again, not all of these are perfect, and I wasn't going to just not throw clips in there because they weren't great, but I wanted people to kind of see this as a good tendency breaker. I thought this is something that offenses could use that broke tendencies. Really, in the RPO game, I didn't show a lot of that, but if you're a team that likes RPO and things of that nature, it's something to try out as well. Now, I know it probably messes with timing, so probably spring would have been a great time to install it, but hey, we're doing the video now, so why don't you try it during 7-on-7 or see how it works out during the summer, right?
Hey, I think it's an easy bell whistle that you can throw on there in the mid-season. I think that's something mid-season you can do to, hey, you got a big district opponent coming up. You've established your tendency. Here's our tendency breaker. Here's the thing that's going to break a couple plays open for us. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But a good way to throw off the defense.
Yeah, thinking about it now, Matt, I know you've done this, but usually I hang out with one high school every year. It's been different one last couple of years, and I do some kind of self-scout for them, something easy that we can do on the weekends. And last year, the team I was working with did have some heavy run tendencies, and we talked about tendency breakers. And man, it would have been real nice to be like, hey, why don't you try this? Because they had a pretty dynamic running back, and I think that would have been a cool look for them. So if you're out there and you're on offense and you're looking for an easy tendency breaker, hey, maybe R flip is a thing for you. And by the way, just to acknowledge it, we know that it's probably named something else from someone else that's done it 15 years ago. Forgive me, but if you know it, just write it in the comments and we'll start using that. For now, we're just going to call it R flip. I believe somebody called it something else, and I wrote that in the article. But hey, if you got a name for it and you already run it, why don't you let us know in the comments below? While you're there, why don't you go ahead and like and subscribe? If you're still watching the video at this point, you must like the crap that comes out of our mouth. So go ahead and hit like and subscribe. Subscribe to Board Drill. We're trying to put out more of these videos, so hopefully you guys are enjoying them. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the new telestrations and everything. And we'll continue to do this, right, Matt?
Yeah, I think I'm going to call it the Kraken. That's what we're going to move forward with, the Kraken.
Moving the running back? That's a terrible name. For me and for Matt, we'll see you next time on another Board Drill Breakdown.